Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This is something I have been waiting to share with you guys for a long time. I'm really excited about it and I thought this would be a really interesting video to share with you guys and kind of another little journey to share with you guys. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, I am transitioning my hair to gray. Ah! So some of you might be like, whoa, wait, like you don't really have gray hair. But I feel like I just hide it really well. Let me back up a little bit. I feel like this is the kind of video that I'm going to get a lot of new people checking out, so I feel like I should introduce myself. Hello, my name is Rainbow, and I just turned 29 exactly a month ago yesterday. So I am still in my 20s and I am transitioning to gray. And a lot of things made me come to this decision. I'm totally gonna show you guys my gray hair so you guys can see that I do have quite a bit. Hopefully in this light, the sun is starting to set, you can see the shiny, silvery, foxy bits. I really have like really silver, kind of more on the white side of gray hair. The big reason I'm so excited to share this is because I have an appointment at the salon in 2 days and I'm going to begin the early steps of my transition, and I want to talk to you guys about how I plan to do it. And basically I want this video to just maybe encourage some people out there that you don't have to keep dyeing your hair if you don't want to. But anyway, where do I even start? I think I noticed my first gray hair at probably 18 or 19, probably. But I've noticed that I really started to develop quite a few of them after 25. And in the past couple years, I would say in the past year alone, like year and a half, it has increased a crazy amount. So a little bit of hair backstory for me. I have been dyeing my hair with natural methods for about 6 years. Before that, I didn't really dye my hair. I dyed my hair like twice when I was kind of in my late teens, early 20s, and that was about it. I've always kind of been pretty natural with my hair, and I hennaed my hair for years because I wanted red hair without having to bleach it. And so I hennaed my hair for like 6 years, maybe a little less, maybe like 5 years. And henna was fantastic. And henna was fantastic at covering the gray. I have a lot of natural red in my hair, so when I was hennaing my hair, the gray would just turn this more fiery coppery color, and so I would just kind of get like these little like streaks and flashes of like this really copper color, and it worked really well. It was great, and it was fantastic for when I just didn't have enough gray to even start to transition or anything. But fast forward to this year, and I decided to maybe let the henna go because it was becoming an issue. I think the last time I hennaed was probably in the spring of last year, maybe a little bit before that, the winter or spring of 2020. And the reason I decided to stop applying henna to my hair was because my hair grows really fast. Like, I cut 19 inches off my hair and I only let it start growing out, what, 1.5 years ago? And it's already this long. So my hair is a super grower. It always has been. And it got to the point where my grays were increasing. And I think for me, for my body, part of that was probably after I had my son. I feel like after every baby, I got a little grayer. And I stopped hennaing because to catch up with the grays and my growth, it was just too messy and too much of a hassle, and I just couldn't be bothered, and it was becoming a pain. The way I view things is if I feel like I have to, then I shouldn't be doing it. I wasn't finding joy in it anymore, so I kind of didn't want to do that anymore. So I started using some box dye because I wasn't ready to accept how much gray I had. And I was really on the fence about what I wanted to do. Did I want to go gray? Like, how could I go gray? I'm only, 28. I don't want to go gray. Like, I'm not even 30, what? So I started box coloring my hair, and I have so much hair that became a little bit exhausting. So I was able to cover the henna. I had no problems doing that. But then box dye just wasn't really working for very long. Not only did I not want to put super harsh stuff on my hair, but box dye just wasn't lasting. And then it got to the point where this summer, last summer I should say, last summer I was dyeing my hair so often and it would just grow out and like wash out and the grays would come through. And it was getting to the point where I realized that if I wanted to keep this up, I was going to have to dye my hair every 2 to 3 weeks. And that's just not the kind of maintenance I'm looking for in my life. So I thought about it, and I've been thinking about it for a long time. I've always been the kind of person to embrace my natural self. That's really what I'm all about. But I like to do it in a way that feels good, and I also do care about things looking nice, so there's a little bit of a balance there for me. And this summer I really started to think about what it would be like if I just let my gray grow. I knew I was starting down the path of having some really gray hair here in the next couple of years, and I knew I was going gray earlier, and I think this is genetic for me. My parents have lots of hair, but I'm pretty sure my mom started going gray early too. I'm not sure though. But I'm pretty sure she dyed her hair. So gray hair is genetic for the most part in my family tree. So I knew that I was coming to the point where I either needed to start committing to dyeing my hair way more often or using harsher dyes or other like sprays. That just seemed like way too much. It didn't suit my lifestyle at all. So I needed to decide whether or not I was going to just let it happen or keep covering it up. And so then I started diving into all these different ways you can transition to gray. And in my searches, I didn't really find anybody else my age who either had as much gray as I do or who have even considered transitioning to gray at such a young age, which is kind of another reason I wanted to do it. And I started just really doing some deep thinking of it and some just sitting with this idea, seeing what I felt about it, challenging myself and my beauty standards and stereotypes that I maybe was still holding against myself, and just really thinking about what I wanted. I had some conversations with my husband, who is also amazingly supportive always, and he was like, yeah, rock the gray, that would look so cool. And I think the biggest thing that helped is like gray hair is really trendy right now, especially girls doing like that silver, like the young faces with this, because that's the thing, I've seen lots of 40-year-olds, you know, later end of 30s or older do transitions to gray, but not a lot of 20-year-olds. So for me, I think the biggest like push of like, yeah, I can totally do this and rock this, is that the gray hair trend for the younger people is a big deal and it's not going anywhere. Like it's still a pretty strong trend and it's very like brave and vibrant and a bold choice for hair. And I was like, yeah, I can rock that. So then I started looking at different methods and how I want to do it, because I don't want to get really blocky. That's just not for me. I just feel like I don't want to lose the length after chopping it, and that's just not the way I prefer to transition. So I made the decision to transition using highlights and blending. So I'm going to blend my grays. I stopped dyeing many months ago. I'm not going to dye my hair anymore. In that sense, like I'm not going to block dye my hair anymore. I am working with a wonderful hairstylist. She's fantastic and she specializes in more of like the lighter hair colors as well. So she's like a great choice to transition to gray with. I'm going to take you guys along on my hair salon appointment this week, so definitely come back if you want to see this stuff, if you want to get more updates and kind of see the process. So we've basically, I had a consult with her and we've chatted about it. I've showed her like inspiration pictures. She's told me what she knows and how she's transitioned other people to gray. And like, we talked about my hair type because I have pretty like coarse curly hair. This was my hair like straightened and then curled. So, yeah, we just talked about a lot of different things and I researched a ton of methods and decided that I wanted to do this like blending with highlights. So because I don't have a ton of gray hair yet, but it's definitely there enough where it's like, you're either gonna do something about it or you're not. Should I show you before the light goes away? Let me show you. So it's really cold here and I live in Canada. So if I have any dandruff, sorry. It's just what happens to me in the winter. Relatable. Okay, so I parted my hair on the side. You guys might notice in the last few videos I've had a center part just because it was like covering some of the like really patchy gray. Not that I'm trying to cover it, it's just I'm waiting to get blended so it like looks nicer. I want to still look nice. Okay, so I'm gonna try and show you as much as I can on camera. Hopefully the light is okay and hopefully you can see it. But just in my part alone, if you can see, there's quite a lot of gray in there. And the further we get to the sides, like the grayer it gets, especially. It's hard to see because again, I have like a lot of like red in my hair. So I don't know if you guys can see that as we go through my hair, there's just like a lot of gray woven through. I'm definitely not, and it's the same on this side, but not quite as bad. I feel like this side is more gray than this side right now. But there's quite a bit of gray developing itself in my hair. Okay, so I don't know if you guys could actually see that. I hope you could, at least a little bit. I promise in person my grays are much more prominent, but I find they don't, can't capture them as easily. But I was finding also the more gray my hair and my roots are getting, the more like fuzzy it is on top. I thought gray was pretty low maintenance, but it's really not. Like there's maintenance that gets involved because it's coarser hair, so you really have to deal with the frizz a different way. So that's been interesting. So I kind of changed up my hairstyle to get ready for that, to just make myself feel better too. And I just don't want to look like a fuzzy mess all the time. So yeah, I have quite a bit of gray hair. And I think that as I go through the process of having another baby, I think that's going to increase my grays a lot. And because that's the plan, to have another child, I know that pregnancy and birth and postpartum are probably going to increase this process quite a bit, more than it would just be if I was just leaving it and letting it grow natural. So with that in mind, I decided to do highlights. So I worked with my hairstylist, and so we're gonna start at a more like caramel blondie red kind of, that'll match my hair tone really well. We went through all the color like selections palette, sorry I don't do hair, that she had. And we're essentially gonna take my hair from like a warm honey highlights, and we're gonna transition it slowly over a couple of years to silver, so that I can, if I want to, I can dye my whole head silver and it won't be as harsh on my hair because my hair is really dark and there's a lot of red in it. So we have to do this slowly. And I want it to be where I can go between appointments and just let it grow. And like as my roots grow out, it's not gonna look funny. It's not gonna look blocky. I really trust her completely with my hair. And that takes like a lot of effort on my part to trust somebody with my hair. I'm very picky. And especially with this process, it's a bit of a fragile transition to do, especially being young. So, I totally trust her with my hair, and I'm really excited. It's going to be a long, slower process, and I've chosen the highlight method for a lot of reasons. I know some people are like, no, you shouldn't touch dye if you're going to transition to gray, but as I've always said, you do what works for you and let everybody else do what works for them. This is what I've chosen just because I'm young. I don't know what the graying process is gonna look like after I've given birth another time, and the hormones from that have like changed my hair again. That'll be really interesting. And I want to go gray while still feeling young and fresh. I want to do this in an interesting way. And I feel like for myself, this is like a big act of self-love for myself. To just embrace the gray and kind of like F your beauty standards, because I've always kind of been like that. But also, I don't want to have my daughter watch me constantly dye my hair and try and pluck out grays or anything like that. I don't want that to be the example I am setting for my daughter. One, because she's going to have similar genetics to me. I don't know. Her dad isn't really going gray at all yet, and they don't have a lot of gray hair in their family at a younger age, or like they take a long time to get gray. But then for me, obviously, I'm not taking long at all to get gray, so I don't know what she'll have. But I just want her to embrace, and my son, I want them both to embrace themselves and find beauty in who they are without having to alter themselves, you know, too much if they don't want to. So that was definitely a big motivating factor for me to embrace this gray journey in my 20s. And I'm just lazy. Honestly, I don't want to dye my hair all the time. I don't want to maintain it in a way that it's going to be difficult and feel like I'm having to cover something up, because when you're covering something up, it is so much more maintenance. So we're gonna blend this. I'm gonna rock the gray. We're gonna make it so it doesn't look like like this is gray right here and the rest is like this dark brown. Just gonna lighten it up, honey color highlights for now, and then eventually we'll work those highlights to like a silver, and we'll start, you know, piecing together more of my dark color into like that silvery hue, and eventually I will just transition nicely, hopefully. I don't know. Guess we'll find out since I document my whole life here. But I just wanted to share this before I go in with my appointment. I've been really excited to talk to you guys about this. And I know there are some very strong opinions about going gray. I know some people will be like, wow, you're gonna look old. I don't care. I was gonna say that a little more rude. I was gonna be like, I don't care what you think. And that's true. But like in a nice way, like this is what is right for me. I am so happy to do this. Covering my aging process is never something I want to do. But I think it's going to be really cool to have gray hair and a young face. Like, I think that's going to be really neat, and I'm excited for what that looks like. I'm excited to show women that they don't have to cover it up if they don't want to. I'm just excited to like offer another voice, another option, and I don't see a whole lot of like women in their 20s transitioning to gray. So I'm just excited to share this process, and like always, if it can help somebody else, then that is worth the sharing. So I don't want to hear like, don't go gray, you're gonna look old. I don't care. I don't want that. No, thank you. But I think it's gonna look awesome. I think I can rock this. I think I've got the face for it. I think I've got like, I'm already like kind of eclectic and like, woo. So I think going gray is going to be awesome. And I'm gonna have like this awesome silver hair in, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. And I think at 35, it's gonna look freaking awesome. I'm so excited, and my husband's stoked. And you know what? That's all that matters. This right here. This is what counts. This is the opinion that matters. No, not that I think anybody's really gonna say anything. Like, you guys are so great, and even people who come, I don't know. I feel like hopefully you just get the vibe that I'm giving is I'm not here for that kind of crap. Yeah. This is just a positive, encouraging story and journey that I want to share with you, and I'm so excited. So I have that appointment in 2 days, and I don't know what it'll look like. It's just gonna be like honey highlight. I mean, this summer I'll probably just look like a, you know, a little more beachy, and it'll be great. But the grays are definitely there. I'm sure people have started to notice them in my photos, especially the ones where they're like sticking up and being like, hey. So if you have any tips for frizz, for gray frizz, let me know. I'm going to have to do a lot of research because that is becoming a increasing thing that I need to deal with. But anyway, I'm going to stop talking at you guys so much. If you have any questions, please leave them down below for my next video about my transition to gray. Maybe the next one I'll do a big Q&A. And if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I'll ask on Instagram eventually, and we can just talk about the transition to gray. Any questions, anything, let me know. And if you have transitioned to gray and you are on the younger side of things, then let me know how it went, what your experience was. Are you thinking about transitioning to gray at any age? Let me know. Let's talk about it. I always find this very fascinating. And remember, my little slice of internet home that you are visiting right now is a completely safe, non-judgmental space. So if you see anybody down below talking about their gray hair or like sharing deep parts of themselves, because that is what we do here, we like that. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's deep. Send encouragement, give those people a thumbs up or like a heart, you know, send them love, share your stories down below. We're just keeping this real nice and real inviting. That's really important to me. So I know you guys are great for that and I won't have an issue, but I just want to throw that out there because I don't know, sometimes these videos kind of go off and a lot of people watch them that aren't from around here. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna get back to doing mom stuff. Sun is setting, so my light is leaving. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you tell me all of the things that you want to tell me. If you're going gray or whatever you want to say, let me know. What was that? I don't know. Be sure to check back here in the next week. I will be posting the salon vlog on either Thursday or Saturday. So look out for that this week, and I will for sure share. I've already talked to my hairdresser about if I can like film a little bit, and she's totally cool with it. So I'm really excited to show you guys, and I'm interested to see what it will look like. If you've got any tips, let me know. But otherwise, we will see you in my next video. Have a great week, you guys. Bye.